Wow, it has been so long since I filmed a video. Hey, what's up? Hello everyone, it's Marissa here. In today's video, I don't really know what I'm gonna call it, but it's basically like a 1 year later after dropping out of sorority recruitment, my like reflection, my life now, did I rush again as a sophomore, what it's like being in Greek life versus not being in Greek life, all that stuff I'm gonna try to cover in a pretty quick video for you guys. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, last year around this time, a little bit earlier, I made a video about my experience going through sorority recruitment here at Indiana University in Bloomington and how it didn't work out for me and how it was kind of disappointing, and I kind of left it at how I wasn't really sure what I was going to do in the future, and so I thought it'd be interesting to do a follow-up for those interested. On that video, it got a couple thousand views, I'm not really sure, but a lot of super nice feedback from girls who were in similar situations and who kind of shared their story about doing maybe like informal rush or rushing as a sophomore, and so I just wanted to add my own kind of follow up with that. And I do want to say like 99% of the comments I got and like Instagram DMs and like stuff related to that were super positive. Of course, there were those people who didn't have anything nice to say, and I'm sure there are people out there who were like making fun of me, but like not gonna focus. Doesn't really matter. I just kind of want to move forward and give you guys a little bit of an update. So I kind of wrote down a little bit of what I wanted to say just because I tend to just go all over the place. The big question though I wanted to answer was, did I rush a sorority as a sophomore? And like, should you rush as a sophomore if you're in that situation? So at IU, sorority recruitment is in the winter, so it's in January, which kind of sucks but is good in some ways. You have a whole semester to adjust and decide if you want to rush a sorority as a freshman, which is kind of nice, but if you're a sophomore, waiting a whole year like that to rush again is kind of frustrating. I don't know how to say this. As a sophomore, you're kind of limited then because you get one less year than what normal people get, which is the whole like 3.5 years of college being in that sorority and kind of getting the benefits of that. I mean, looking at my potential timeline, I'm hoping to study abroad for a semester, hopefully second semester junior year, and so if I did rush a sorority, I would have been in it this semester, next semester, then I would have been abroad, and then I would have been senior. And I mean, a lot of people kind of like drop out of that stuff by senior year, and it's just like not as appealing to people because you have to pay these dues. I mean, the big draw of the Greek life is to be like at the parties and stuff, and when you're a senior you can go to the bars, so I mean, that's just something to consider. Another thing you have to consider is like going through sorority rush. I knew I'd see a bunch of people that I knew, which can be like a pro and a con, I guess, but also just kind of like gross a little bit to think about joining something that initially rejected you. If you have those feelings, then I feel like that might make it harder. And then also just the process itself really sucks because you have to come back early and you have to dress up and all these like different rules, and so it's really not for everyone. I actually talked to like a bunch of people who are in sororities here and who did it when they were in school but already graduated. Really just like feel it out if I really wanted to go through it again, because I feel like it is a pretty big commitment to come back and go through the process for like a week and a half and then also to join it. But I was really just on the fence the whole time, and then it was the day the application, I guess, or like the signing up thing was due, and I was sitting and it was due like midnight, and I was like literally from like 11:15 to midnight I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I had everything filled out, but I ended up not submitting it. It's really hard just because like for my perspective, it was like I wanted to be in a house, but I wanted to have that started as a freshman, and so I just didn't really see the appeal of joining as a sophomore. And sometimes I'm sad because I feel like maybe I could have gotten into a house I really liked and made a bunch of friends, but you really can't dwell on that, like all the like what ifs. I just decided not to rush as a sophomore, but I do know people who rushed as sophomores and it didn't work out, which is really devastating for it to not work out again. But I also know people who rushed as a sophomore and it did work out, so it really just depends. Another question this one girl asked me was in like Instagram DMs was like, how do they pick who gets a bid? Like, how do you keep moving forward in the process? It's so weird and it's so like different than it is for guys. It's weird because you have all these conversations, but you're not supposed to talk about certain things. From what I understand, you have conversations with the girls and then they like rank you on a point system. It probably depends on the house and how it works, but a lot of times they rank you on like a scale of 1 to 10, how much they like think you click, and then eventually you can move forward. It helps if you know people in it. It helps if you are a legacy. It helps if you are like super unique because then they remember you. But like honestly, there's not like a certain formula. Also, I feel like it's super random too. Like if you hit it off with one girl, but then the next time you come in, you don't really have good conversations, then you might not get invited back. It's just really random, and honestly, since I'm not in it, I have no idea how it works. I do know though that they like do a lot of preparation and they try to do it, I would think, as fair as possible. I'm not really sure. Candidly, I feel like the system's kind of messed up, but I don't know how they would fix it. So that's just kind of how it is. Okay, and then I also just wanted to compare what it's like being a GDI, which is someone who's like independent, not in a Greek house, versus someone who is in a house. So I think it just depends on the campus. I have friends who go to Butler University, DePaul, and like Greencastle, Indiana. DePaul or DePaul? I always say it wrong. Like Miami of Ohio, like those smaller schools, I feel like it's a lot different. Like you kind of have to be in a house to have a social life, almost. Probably not, but it seems like a lot more of the students are involved in it. Here at IU, I wouldn't say that's the case. It's just so big, like there's 40,000 students, so I mean there's like other stuff to get involved in. There's other ways to like party and like go out, that kind of thing. There's also other ways to get involved in like philanthropy stuff, which I know attracts people, and you can also like live in a regular house. Like I know somebody who lives in a house with 5 girls, so it's like almost like a sorority, just like smaller scale. If you're one of those girls who like didn't get into a sorority and are really bummed out about it, I would encourage you just to think of it that way. I don't know if that helps, but that's what I have to say. I think this would be a fun drinking game if everyone took a shot every time I said the word sorority. Only for 21, obviously. We just had Little 5 Week, which at IU is like this huge deal. It's like a bike race. It's harder when you're not in Greek life because you don't have a team to cheer for and you don't have like scheduled parties to go to. I still had a fun week, and I actually kind of went home for the weekend because I had a family wedding to go to. So breaking it up like that and like just finding other stuff to do or focus on is totally possible. Another thing I will mention, but try not to get too into, is that there has been a lot of university kind of crackdowns, I would say, on Greek life, trying to make it safer. I think this is a common theme probably across the country, but especially with fraternities, the hazing stuff is just like a really big deal because people have, you know, passed away from it and stuff. So we have had quite a few frats literally in the like last year, I think 3 or 4, maybe more than that, who have been shut down. Only one sorority I know has been shut down, and one of them couldn't take a pledge class, I think, this last year. And then some of them are on like season assist, which I think means they can't have like party pairs. So there's just like all this like complicated layered stuff that I really honestly don't know a lot about to the Greek system, and I think that's something you should definitely consider before you try to join it. Kind of controversial, but I thought I would bring it up anyway. Okay, I think that is all I have to say for you guys. Hopefully this helps out those who were kind of just curious about the process a little bit more. I know this was super rambly still, even with my little outline, but I really just wanted to make girls, again, feel not as alone. Yeah, I just want to be a comforting voice. If you are coming to IU this fall, I'm so excited for you. I've had like a ton of people let me know that. For the rest of you, hope you're having a good day. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.